Well, I'd like to welcome back today one of Unity Church of Hawaii's own, Dr. Nancy Little. Nancy's synchronistic journey led her to these islands in 2012 for an 8-month internship. The islands invite her back again as she is called to share a message of aloha. Dr. Nancy is a licensed Unity teacher and a licensed professional counselor who has counseled thousands of adults, children, and couples in university and church settings. She brings her message of aloha to spiritual communities in the United States and Canada, as the spiritual leader of Unity Spirit of Aloha, an alternative ministry approved by UWM in 2014. As a heart-opening and inspirational speaker, Nancy captivates audiences with her compassion and sensitivity to universal human needs while celebrating each individual's uniqueness. Please join me in welcoming and giving a warm welcome to Dr. Nancy Little.
Mahalo. It's so wonderful to look out and see everybody. Aloha kakiaka. Aloha. When I was here as an intern in 2012, Aloha Sundays were my favorite. I loved every Sunday, but I had a special place in my heart for every Aloha Sunday. You know, back in Texas, where I have lived since 1978, there's a bumper sticker that you often see, and it says, "I'm not from Texas, but I got here as fast as I could." Now, I never quite embraced that idea, but I have an alternate version that relates to Hawaii. I am not from Hawaii, but I come as often as I can. Yeah, I love being here. It's a joy to be with you today. My dad introduced me to the idea of the ebb and flow of life as a young child. We would take trips to the Atlantic along the coast where I grew up in Kentucky. But when I first encountered the Pacific, it was a different kind of love and a different kind of spiritual experience. When I first came to Hawaii, along with my husband Russ, who some of you have met, we came to be married. That was my first trip to Unity Church of Hawaii. We loved the energy here, and we had already made arrangements with Reverend Sky to be the person that would marry us. Now, we also had my children, Michael and Megan, and it was just a profound day on Kailua Beach in 2006. In his message, Sky said something that I really thought was sweet, but I didn't fully understand the meaning at the time. He said, "You and Russ will be each other's greatest teachers." And I thought, oh, that's really sweet. Then I got the idea more fully because, you know, when you're in an intimate relationship with someone, sometimes you kind of bump into each other, right? Have you all had that experience? Sometimes, you know, we've even fallen down. We've gotten hurt. We've had little owies. And it happens like that in any kind of community, any type of relationship. But, you know, that's how we can discover more of who we are here to become. Do you agree? We can develop more fully that inner divinity, those inner qualities with which we were endowed at birth, those treasures that we're awaiting to see more fully in expression. And I know that there's a deep meaning in the message that I felt called to present to you as we travel around the mainland and all the glorious places that we've been able to deliver Aloha Sunday messages. I always pick a wisdom teaching from Malala Noeau, which became a treasured friend of mine from ever before I even arrived on the island. And the one I chose particularly for you today, I'm going to attempt to say with my in progress Hawaiian. I know there are many of you that speak it much better than I, but bear with me. Aloha mai no, aloha aku, o ka huhu ka meao I ola ole ai. In progress. I've tried to pick up my speed. But, the lady that I listen to online that translates, she speaks so fast, I can't quite grasp it. But this is the message that I wanted to share. It became very meaningful for me. And the direct translation is on the slide, which says, when love is given, love should be returned. That's part of the flow of giving and receiving, right? We share aloha, we share love, we share positive spiritual energy. And then it concludes with, anger is the thing that gives no life. Now, anger is one of those feelings, but sometimes it can sap our energy when we stew and we start to build resentment and we hold on to that. And those are ways that we can show up and grow up. We have many tools at our disposal. And I hope to give you some inspiration today by drawing on the wisdom of some Unity and other New Thought teachers. Are you all in for that? To help you more fully live into the spirit of aloha, to more fully embrace the process of giving and receiving aloha. So let's get started. Let's get started. All right, well, I'm clicking and nothing's happening. Levitt? All right. Ask and you shall receive, right? I'm demonstrating right here, right now. Florence Scovel Shen is one of our profound New Thought metaphysical teachers, and she has this simple idea, but simple ideas are often the quite powerful, life-changing messages for me. Giving opens the way for receiving. When we give from a joyful heart, then abundance seems to flow towards us so beautifully, just like the waves. The waves go out, the waves come in. And when we're in that flow, life seems mysterious and magical in beautiful ways. From Scripture, from Luke 11:9, we read, "So I say to you, ask, and it will be given to you. Seek, and you will find. Knock, and the door will be opened for you." Well, that's a powerful message. Up until very recently, like 2 days ago, the way that I was interpreting that was that I put my prayer request, my intentions out there, and that I would be creating that flow. I'd be creating the opportunity to receive my good. But it occurred to me that perhaps what that really means for me right here and now is that I need to ask how I can more fully and completely come and present with a loving heart, how I can be a presence in the present, and I can show ways to be generous in spirit. And maybe that's something you can ponder in the days that lie ahead. But it was just so clear to me that it had another layer, another meaning for me to embrace. From John, one of Jesus's most profound messages for us is to love one another. He says, "I command you, a new command I give you, love one another as I have loved you." And we want to emulate Jesus, our way shower, and one way we can do that is extending a completely generous and open heart. Not everybody that Jesus saw, I'm sure, was an easy situation. He got pulled on, he got targeted, he got such negative energy, but he always had that openness, that open spirit. There are a few Unity people, teachers, ministers, that have had a profound influence on me, and perhaps you have not yet heard of them. But I want to introduce you or reintroduce you to the beautiful being who was May Rowland. May Rowland served Silent Unity. She was the director of Silent Unity, in fact, from 1916 to 1971. Those of you that are good with math can figure out quickly how long that was. Well, I can tell you, it's longer than I've held any job in my life. And do you think she learned something about the flow of life, the ebb and flow, the flow of giving and receiving? When she began, she was literally writing responses to the letters that she received, to the prayer requests that came in. From her book, Dare to Believe, May said this: if you are not attracting the good that you desire in your life, learn to express love. Become a radiating center of love, and you will find that love, the divine magnet. The divine magnet. We have divine magnets within us that will change our entire world. So just let that soak in. I am a divine magnet. You are divine magnets. And we can use that spiritual energy to attract our good and to make our life magnificent. She continued to say this: when your heart is filled with love, you will not be critical or irritable. Even in Kahala Mall or at Ala Moana or wherever you choose to go Christmas shopping. But you will be divinely irresistible. Say to somebody around you or to yourself, I am divinely irresistible. You are divinely irresistible. Try that on. You are divinely irresistible. That's on my intention list for 2017 already. I want to be divinely irresistible. Sue Sicking was a Unity minister. She had another corporate kind of job until she was in a nearly fatal car accident. And as a survivor of that, she decided to pursue a ministry, to pursue a ministerial degree. And she became a Unity minister. And she was so impactful that she influenced her husband and 3 of their 5 children to become ministers as well. That's a pretty radiating, irresistible presence, isn't it? And she has a very important message for us. And for me, this is timely, very timely. Love all who cross your path from anywhere on the face of the earth. You may not like them. You may not understand their ways, but love is caring and desiring the highest good for all, the highest good for everyone. Now, maybe some of you, like me, were not all that excited about the results or the outcome of our election. And when I woke up on November 9th, I was tempted to pull the covers back over my head and stay in bed. But I am affirming the highest good for all and everyone on their path. So that's a profound message from Sue. Jim Rosemurgy kind of elaborates on this idea, a Unity minister who resides in Florida right now and is close to retirement. He expresses something that really kind of ties into that aloha, that heartbeat of aloha that we sang about. I think something's missing, but we don't have to be in a place where we see eye to eye. It's not about finding the sacred spirit within another. It's not about being in agreement. We're not always going to be in agreement in community, in our relationships, but it's to feel the heartbeat of God in another person, to know that that's there, and to feel that heartbeat of God beating within me, that rhythmic heartbeat, and to know that all hearts beat together to one rhythm, right? We talk about oneness and unity all the time, and affirming that we are one. Our hearts are beating together. Maybe we're in a different mode of expression, but we can feel and know that that is true. Marianne Williamson was a very profound teacher of mine through her writings, not face to face. But she reminds me of another message that we're not held back by the love that we didn't get in the past, although maybe that's been your story. A lot of us carry a story about our childhood or about past relationships or past jobs, and that we were deeply wounded. And I know that's a part of some people's experience. But what holds us back now is the love that we fail to express in the present. It's kind of like my garden hose. We have to do a lot of watering in Texas, a lot more than you all do, although I see hoses here too. But have you ever gotten a kink in it? Or have you ever stepped on your hose or had it cut off? And the flow is blocked, right? And when we unkink it, all of a sudden it's gushing freely and fully. And that's what we can do when we extend love in the present. We can free up that beautiful flow of loving energy. Wayne Dyer was another teacher of mine, and interestingly, I first became exposed to him as a counseling faculty member at Ball State University. He wrote a book on group counseling that I studied as part of my doctoral program. Isn't that interesting? Before he resigned from his faculty job and went to pursue more spiritual teaching. But he said, abundance is not something we acquire. And we all like to acquire things at times, right? I mean, I've been to shop in Deja Vu 3 times already since I've been here, and I have found some treasures. And they tell me, keep coming back, and I will. But it's not about acquiring. It's really about tuning in. You know, that radio frequency or that channel, whatever way you can visualize that, I'm tuning in to my abundance. I am open to that full expression. So here we are on this Aloha Sunday, talking about the flow of aloha, giving and receiving love. We have not that many days left in 2016. Some of you may be glad for that. Some of you may be sad. But we can choose how we spend the rest of our 2016. I encourage you to act as if you are pursuing an abundant treasure that's within you. As we said earlier, there's new things to be discovered. There's new ways to show up in the world, new parts of you. Be curious. Keep asking, what is mine to do? How could I show up in this time and space differently? Maybe some of you will travel over the holidays. Maybe you'll be with family. Maybe you'll be with people that may be not as divinely irresistible as you wish they were. But we can show up looking for the treasure, looking for the gift. Be curious, enthralled, and fascinated. Isn't it interesting? What can I discover? Because there is much to be revealed. But for me, nothing works very well when I'm not taking excellent care of myself. Can you all relate to that? When I'm not engaging in self-care on a regular basis, I'm not very magnetizing in a positive way. And I encourage you to take that time, particularly now in the hecticness and the busyness. I know we're all excited about decorating and trolley rides and cookies, Levitt, but we need to take those times to have the restoration that we all crave and deserve. Myrtle Fillmore, our Unity co-founder, knew more about healing and wholeness than anybody, in my opinion. And she said this: the only way really to know, is to become perfectly still, to get away from all the outer distractions. And there are so many outer distractions. Most of us have one in our pocket or in our handbag or something. But to look and to get into that inner space of quiet where we are alone with wisdom. And she says what I consider one of her most profound statements: In the silence, wisdom is given for every need, every need. I mean, if we really believe that, what would stop us from allowing that treasure to come forth for us? And by the way, that's one of my photos of my favorite place on island to walk endlessly, and that's why Manalo Beach. That's where Russ and I first had a VRBO that I just found joyfully, miraculously online back in 2006 while planning for our wedding. So I've given you several quotes, several ideas, several thoughts from different unity teachers, wisdom teachers, and let's wrap it all together. And then you can decide how you want to set your intentions from today, November 27th, to December 31st, and take 2016 out on a really high note. So the practicing of the law of giving and receiving. There's some really simple ways to do that, right? I've had so many people hug me, kiss me, smile at me, encourage me, pat me on the back since I've been here. It's beautiful. And we can do that. We can give that small gift to everybody we encounter. You know, if you're at the mall, if you're on the beach, wherever you are, you may be smiling at someone that hasn't had anybody smile at them in a long time. That may make their day. You might offer them a flower or even a prayer. You know, I have a friend that was in Safeway one time, and somebody saw her, and there was just something that drew her, and she asked her, at the produce section, if she would pray with her. And she did, and it was such a gift for both. So we can offer that. And then we also have to be grateful receivers, don't we? You know, some of us are more comfortable giving. Some of us are more comfortable taking, but it's really a balance of both. If Tony offers me a gift and I say, oh no, I couldn't possibly accept that, what have I just done? I've stopped the flow. I put a kink in the garden hose. So joyfully give and receive. Whether it's a compliment, if somebody offers a prayer, it's all for both of our highest good. And then we can just silently wish everybody joy, peace, comfort, contentment, and make the world a little bit better place. So in those moments where I feel what can I do? What am I called to do? Sometimes being grateful is enough. Sometimes offering a prayer is enough. And sometimes truly doing something substantial, an action, is what I'm called to do. So as we wrap with this final slide on this beautiful Aloha Sunday, where I am so honored and so blessed to return and to offer a message for you, I want to share this graphic I found online with you because it's so perfect for what we've covered today. I believe in Aloha. Do you? Yes. I believe in kindness, God first, love for this beautiful ohana and everyone that's ever come before, everyone that's ever sat on those beautiful old pews or these new chairs. Meaningful friendships, counting my blessings, and giving to others. I choose to see the good in life, even during times of struggle. I am grateful for the life I have and for all you wonderful people that are a part of my life and that make this journey so worthwhile. Mahalo and blessings to each of you this beautiful Aloha Sunday. Thank you. Thank you.